Hi guys, here we are again, back with part 4 of Let's Make It 3. This is actually take 2, hence I've already started on the painting. Basically where we are is we've got the wire now coated in the Milliput. It's left to sit overnight, it's gone quite hard. Even though it's hard, remember, because of the little bits like that, it is still fragile, so still be careful, handle it with a certain amount of care. Right. For painting, I've decided to use Citadel's Mournfang Brown. Citadel's Mournfang Brown. Because I hand paint, I find Citadel paints very, very good. They mix well, they go on fabulous. It's very easy to eliminate brush strokes and things with it. It's just a good quality paint. So I have some mixed up here with a little bit of water. Just mix down. What we're doing is we're just painting it on. Now, it's, as you can see, it's going on quite freely because I have the paint quite watery. Quite wet. I'd say I have it mixed to its maximum. Any more, I'd start breaking. If I mixed any more water through it, I'd start breaking down the pigments, and it wouldn't do anything, if you know what I mean. But as you see now here, where I'm getting down to where the heavy texture is. It's pointless putting too much texture up here. I found that it was getting harder to put on because the pieces were thinner. Plus, you won't really see up there. As long as there's some bit of texture up there, I'm happy enough. Now, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I just knocked the camera. But anyway, as I said, I don't know if you can see that or not, because I don't know if it'll zoom in right. But that is starting to look like a piece of wood already, and I haven't even finished. Right, I'll crack on with this, and I'll just pause the video and get back onto it when it's fully coated, and we talk about the next step. Right, and here we're back, and there she is. All nice and painted brown. Still wet, so that's why it's a bit shiny, obviously. But as you see, can it zoom in there just a little bit, just to see the texture. On the three. After the next step, that will even look better again. So, as I said, the next step is basically it's washes, and what I use is oil colours, burnt umber, 2 parts burnt umber, 1 part burnt sienna, mixed up into a little paste, and use some mineral spirits, make it down to a nice wash. And that's basically my wash. One thing I want to talk about is colour. And people gone off saying, buying 7 different variations of the one colour. Ridiculous. In my mind, it's ridiculous. Basically, like, I spent a number of years in the army. I spent 22 years in the army. And on any given day, if you watched a number of soldiers either walking around barracks on a daily basis or out on exercise, and you lined them all up and looked at the uniforms, the colour variations on the same uniform, do you mean when they all came out of the stores they were exactly the same colour? You got everybody out of stores and put them into the uniforms and lined them up, you'd see no difference. On an exercise or on a day-to-day basis around barracks, you'd see variations of those colours, lighter, darker. I remember one occasion that before we got the DPM uniforms in the Irish Army, we used to have just a plain green olive drab. And I remember on one exercise, there was one guy's combats were practically white. They'd been washed and used so many times, and they were his combats that he used juice for exercises and things. The quality of them was still grand. It's just that they'd been washed so many times that they'd gone practically white. And that's the thing. How many times has it been washed, and how many times is the thing? Same with vehicles. All vehicles come out of, I mean, there's a standard colour. And then they come out, and I've seen 2 Jeeps. The number plates were one after the other. In other words, they were in the same batch. One had gone, been used on exercises the whole time, and one was just used for around barracks and things like that. Within 3 or 4 years, the colour variation on the 2 of them was unnatural. They just didn't look as if they were originally the same colour, but they were. Because when they came to barracks, when they were brand new, they were both identical. The only way of telling them apart, obviously, was the number plate. But in 3 or 4 years, you could tell them apart. It's use, who drives them, what they get used for, this, that and the other. So that's just a little thing. That's why I say, like, when I started with the paint, and I said I use that brown paint, I use that brown paint for lots of things. I use it for dark wood. I use it for the brown, in the red-brown in the German camouflage. I use it for... I can't think. I use it for lots of different things. Same with an olive drab. If I want to lighten off the olive drab, I just add a bit of yellow to it. If I want to darken it, add a bit of black. And if I want to, just say I run out of olive drab, just get a bit of black and a bit of yellow and make my own olive drab. Simple as that. And you, like, as I said, how things fade in the sun. I mean, even in Ireland where we don't get that much sun, it still fades, but depends on how many times it's been washed. That's just a little rant out of John there for July. Hopefully now it'll be my own little rant. But here we are anyway. There's our tree. Our next step will be the washes. I don't have to show you how I'm going to do a wash, but I'll show you when I move on to the next stage. I'll have the wash done, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to be 2 or 3 days, and we'll be moving on to the next stage where we're putting on the twigs, what will actually hold the foliage. And it's just kind of a mesh system, but it's what you make that mesh system out of, and I'll show you that in the next one. So then, look after yourselves and enjoy your modelling.